In the car, they told me the guy was threatening to press charges against me. Of course he was. But the officers just shrugged and said it would be a formality. Just get a lawyer, they said. I almost laughed. I'm a preschool teacher. I don't have hire a lawyer money. But then they told me a big law firm had offered a few pro bono cases. By the time I reached the station, my brain was somewhere between the ceiling tiles and outer space. Everything sounded like it was happening through thick glass. I turned a corner and almost collided with a wall disguised as a man. A huge guy in a black suit that looked more expensive than my last 2 months of paychecks combined. He stood perfectly straight, arms folded, staring down at another man who looked like he might actually be sick. There was something about the tall guy's presence, sharp, cold, controlled, that made my stomach drop. Then he leaned forward, voice low and calm. Too calm. You realize I don't give 2 fucks if you spend the rest of your life mopping prison floors with your tongue. If you do not tell me the truth, I will shake my hands free of this case before your next heartbeat. Now, did you start the fucking fight? He never raised his voice. Not once. But the pressure of it hit my chest like a physical shove. Before I even knew what I was doing, I stepped back. The police officer guiding me gently nudged me past him, and I didn't even pretend to hide how relieved I was to leave that intensity behind. My nerves felt frayed like someone had sandpapered my insides. I had enough adrenaline for a decade. After waiting almost an hour, time stretching and folding like I was stuck in molasses, the officer came back. Your pro bono lawyer is here. I stood automatically, my knees threatening to buckle, and then he walked in, the terrifying suit wall from earlier, holding a file as casually as if he didn't just verbally eviscerate a grown man at the hallway. Julian Black, he said smoothly. I'll be your lawyer, Ms. He flipped through the folder before looking up. Evans? His lips twitched into something that wasn't quite a smile, more like a private joke he wasn't sharing. You have glitter in your hair? I blinked. Of all the things to say right now. I was in charge of crafts this morning, I muttered. My voice sounded tiny, even to me. I see, he replied before he sat opposite me, opening the file with clinical precision. His expression barely moved, but I felt like he could see right through me. I lowered myself back into my chair, slowly, because my legs suddenly felt like wet paper. I wasn't laughing at the glitter, he said suddenly, eyes still on the paperwork. I was laughing at the fact that a 6'2" a-hole was taken down by a 5'0" woman, and he still had the audacity to whine about it. Then he looked up, directly, sharply, and I felt heat crawl up my neck. That is both hilarious and admirable. My cheeks burned, the kind of burn that comes from adrenaline and embarrassment mixing until you can't tell which is which. Then he added, deadpan, or completely stupid. What exactly were you thinking? I wasn't, I snapped, a like higher pitch than I intended. My throat felt tight. I'm glad you're finding this amusing, but I wasn't thinking at all. I was terrified. He had a knife, and I'm aware. And, I said louder, cutting him off, he could have hurt the children. Julian's expression didn't shift much, but something softened. Or he could have hurt you? The words hit me like a slap of cold water. For a second, the room tilted. I hadn't even considered that. Not once. My breath snagged in my chest. He must have noticed because he immediately looked back at the file, giving me a second to gather myself. Or maybe avoiding the fact he just cracked open a truth I wasn't ready for. I don't know what's happening anymore. My body feels hollow. My head feels heavy, buzzing. I just need this day to end.